All right, let's talk about something really cool. What if you could take one single sweet potato, just one, and turn it into a harvest of 50 pounds of food, maybe even more? I know, it sounds a little like a magic trick, but it's a real gardening hack we're gonna break down today. It's all about creating something called sweet potato slips.
So if you've never grown regular potatoes, you know the drill, right? You chop them up, make sure every piece has an eye, stick it in the ground, and boom, new plants. So naturally, you'd think you could do the exact same thing with a sweet potato. Makes sense. But then what happens? Absolutely nothing. Or even worse, you go to check on it a few weeks later and all you find is this sad, rotten pile of mush. It is so frustrating, and believe me, it's a super common mistake. But there's a very specific reason why it happens.
And here it is. This is the big aha moment. A sweet potato isn't actually a potato at all. They're not even in the same family. So trying to grow one like a regular potato, it's kind of like trying to start your car with your house key. You're just using the completely wrong tool for the job.
See, sweet potatoes grow from something called a slip. And a slip is just a fancy name for the green shoot that sprouts right off the sweet potato. You don't plant a piece of the root itself, you plant these brand new leafy little shoots. And that, right there, is the entire key to unlocking this massive harvest. This chart just lays it out perfectly. Look at this. On the left, you've got your sweet potato, Ipomea patatus, which is part of the morning glory family. And on the right, your regular potato is a nightshade. They are not even distant cousins. One grows from these leafy shoots, the slips, and the other grows from buds or eyes on the tuber. Totally different plants that just happen to share a name. Okay, so you're ready. You're gonna grow some slips. But hold on. Before you grab a jar of water or a tray of soil, there's one single step at the very beginning that will make the difference between success and that dreaded mush we talked about.
And this right here is the trap so many people fall into. Most of the conventional sweet potatoes you buy at the big grocery stores, they've been treated with a growth inhibitor. They literally call it a bud nip to keep them from sprouting on the shelves. Now that's great for the supermarket's bottom line, but it's terrible for us because that potato has been chemically told not to grow. Luckily, the fix is unbelievably simple. Just start with an organic sweet potato. That's it. Since they can't be treated with those growth-stopping chemicals, they're alive, they're ready to sprout, they want to grow. You could also buy a seed sweet potato from a garden supplier, but honestly, an organic one from the grocery store is usually the easiest way to go. Now we get to the fun part. There are basically two main ways to coax these slips out of your potato. One is kind of like that classic science experiment you did in school, and the other one, well, that's how the pros get hundreds of plants and fast. First up, we have the water method. I call it the classroom way because you've probably seen this before. You just stick some toothpicks in the potatoes, suspend it in a jar of water, and put it in a sunny spot. It's definitely a bit slower, but it is so cool to watch those roots and shoots start to appear day by day. But if you want a ton of slips, you're going to want to use the soil method, the pro way. It's simple. Just lay the potato on its side in a tray of moist soil. But the real secret, the absolute game changer, is step 3, heat. Sweet potatoes are tropical, you know? They need warmth to wake up. So putting that tray on a seedling heat mat, that's the pro move that gets you a whole carpet of sprouts, and fast. So, you did it! Your potato is now covered in these beautiful green shoots, maybe a few inches long. Now what? Well, the next step is to turn each one of those little sprouts into its own individual garden-ready plant. And the process is so much simpler than you'd think. You don't even dig up the mother potato. You just wait till a shoot is about 4 to 6 inches long and you gently twist and snap it off. Then you take all those little stems and just pop them in a glass of water. And here's where the real magic happens. In just 3 to 5 days, that's it. You are going to see roots literally explode from the bottom of those stems. It is shockingly fast. As soon as those roots are about an inch long, they're not slips anymore. They are brand new individual sweet potato plants, and they are ready for the garden. Now let's talk timing, because timing is everything. Sweet potatoes absolutely despise the cold. So you're going to start this whole process about 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. But, and this part is critical, you don't actually plant them outside until 2 to 4 weeks after your last frost, when the soil itself has had a chance to really warm up. You give them that warm soil, and a little over 100 days later, you'll be digging up a huge harvest. But what are you supposed to do during those 100+ days of waiting? Well, it turns out the sweet potato has one more incredible secret up its sleeve, a hidden harvest that you can enjoy all summer long.
The leaves! That's right, unlike regular potatoes, the leaves of the sweet potato plant are totally edible, and they are delicious. They've got this wonderful, mild, spinach-like flavor, and they are jam-packed with vitamins. You can just snip them off and eat them all season long while you're waiting for the tubers to grow underground. It's a true 2-for-1 crop.
Okay, I have to give you an extremely important safety warning here, and I cannot stress this enough. Only the leaves of the sweet potato plant are safe to eat. Remember, regular potato plants are in the toxic nightshade family, and their leaves are poisonous. So please, never, ever eat them.
So when you take a step back and look at all this, what does it really mean? It's about way more than just growing some food. It's about fundamentally changing the rules of your own food supply.
This really says it all. When you learn this one simple skill, you break the cycle of having to go out and buy new plants every single spring. That one organic sweet potato from the store, or one you saved from your own harvest, it becomes the mother of your entire crop for the year. You're creating your own little self-sustaining food system right in your backyard.
So, the biggest takeaway here is that you now know how to turn a single vegetable into a continuous supply of both greens and tubers. That's an amazing act of self-reliance. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? If you can unlock this much potential from one potato, what else is just waiting to be discovered in your garden?